Joe Tacopina is one of New York's best criminal defense attorneys. He began his career as a prosecutor in Brooklyn. He's red hot these days.
Vincent is an employee of MJ Productions, someone who has worked with Michael and that team of advisors and whatnot.
New York criminal defense attorney Joe Tacopina has been hired to represent Amen and his friend and fellow Jackson operative Frank Cassio Tyson, seen here together last month.
Frank is someone who has been very close to Michael for a substantial number of years. He is what I guess has been defined as Michael's personal assistant.
Neither Tyson nor Amen has been charged with any crime, but they didn't get a big-time New York criminal defense attorney for the fun of it.
There was a substantial amount of contact between Vincent, Frank, and the mother.
Brian's help has come in the form of prominent attorney Joseph Tacopina.
We let Elizabeth test the waters. We let her go in there and make her complaints, and let's see if the department was going to help her out. Vince, not only did they not help her out, they turned their back to her and then accused her of the same harassment that she was crying out for help for.
However, Brian and Tacopina are betting that come Monday, this story will be the talk of the town. That's when they plan to file their $5 million federal lawsuit against the NYPD.
An ace criminal defense lawyer. You're someone who virtually never loses a case, which I usually don't like to say because everyone says, oh yeah, right. You know, Jerry Spence always says he's never lost a case. But you're pretty close to that record. And I think a reason for your being close to that record is that you pour in your heart and your soul into the courtroom.
Criminal defense attorney Joe Tacopina, whose successful strategy resulted in the acquittal of his client, Thomas Weiss, in the Abner Louima incident. Joe Tacopina, did your client, Thomas Weiss, walk because of Justin Volpe or in spite of him?
My client walked, David, because he didn't do anything wrong.
Let me talk about your possible connection to this case. You represent two former employees of Michael Jackson, Frank Tyson and Vincent Amon. What was their alleged connection to the case?
I was notified that they were targets of this grand jury because of their role involving the family.
Let's take Frank Tyson as one.
Frank's different. Frank is
personal assistant.
Not only personal assistant, one of Michael's closest friends. Spoke to him last night after hearing the news of this, which was not a surprise to anybody. Personal assistant, someone who really was very close to Michael on a personal basis.
It's likely that testimony from Logan's clients would bolster the prosecution's case against R. Kelly, but it's unlikely that the jury will ever hear from them.
A judge in a criminal trial will normally bar the jury from hearing anything regarding a civil suit settlement if the prosecution wants to bring it out.